So, you just plugged in your console cable, fired up your terminal emulator, and there it is. Just a stark black screen and a blinking cursor. It's quiet. Honestly, it's kind of intimidating, right? If you've ever stared at that prompt and felt that sudden cold flash of panic, wondering if a single typo is going to take down the entire production network on your very first day, listen, you are absolutely not alone. But here's the thing. That little blinking cursor, it literally holds the keys to the entire network kingdom, provided you know exactly how to speak its language. Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're focusing entirely on how to navigate Cisco iOS. Our goal here is simple but incredibly powerful. We are going to transform that blinking cursor from a source of dread into a tool of absolute empowerment. We'll be using real-world scenarios straight from professional reference guides to show you exactly how to move through the system, lock it down securely, and troubleshoot it just like a seasoned engineer. All right, let's take a quick look at our roadmap for today. We'll start with the hierarchy of access, then move on to essential shortcuts. After that, we'll hit the day one hardening checklist, cover configuring and saving, and wrap it all up with troubleshooting and what we call the golden sequence. Okay, section 1, the hierarchy of access. We're starting our journey right here by understanding the concept of depth in iOS modes. Now, what's really interesting here is how the prompt physically changes as you move deeper into this system. It's kind of like leveling up in a video game. You start out at user EXE, which is marked by that greater than sign. Think of this as the lobby. It gives you really limited read-only access. But when you type enable, you level up to privileged EXE, and boom, the prompt changes to a hashtag. This is your full diagnostic access. And when you actually need to change device-wide settings, you enter global config by typing configure terminal, and your prompt shifts to show config in brackets. Let's look at how this plays out in a real-world workflow. Notice how seamlessly an engineer moves through these modes. You connect and land at that greater than prompt. You type enable, punch in your password, and hit the hashtag prompt. From there, configure terminal opens the door to actually make a change, like say updating the hostname to core switch 1. Once you're done, typing end jumps you completely out of config mode and right back to privileged EXE where you can securely save your work. It's just a beautiful, logical dance. Moving right along to section 2, essential shortcuts. Let's equip you with the magic spells that separate the CLI amateurs from the pros. Here is the best news you'll hear all day. You never ever need to memorize every single command perfectly. If you get stuck at a prompt, just type a question mark. It provides instant, context-sensitive help, listing every valid keyword available from exactly where you're standing. Then there's the tab key. Start typing IP address, hit tab, and iOS magically auto-completes it to IP address. No more typos. And if you need to recall what you just did, just type show history to instantly bring up your recent commands. Honestly, these 3 secrets alone are going to save your sanity and hours of frantic typing over your career. Okay, so here's a massive time saver. Normally, show commands only work out in privileged exec mode, right? Well, actually, if you prefix your command with the word do, like do show IP int brief, it forces the router to run that privilege check from exactly where you are in global config mode. It means you can verify your work on the fly without constantly backing out and jumping back in. It's an absolute game changer. Next up, section 3, the day 1 checklist. Let's look at a really critical scenario, deploying a brand new switch. Security absolutely cannot be an afterthought. This exact sequence right here ensures your device is fully hardened on first access. You start by setting a strong enable secret password. Next, and hey, this order really matters, you run service password encryption to guarantee no plain text passwords ever appear in your config file. Then, you lock down the physical console line with its own password and an auto logout timer. Because think about it, if you walk away to grab a coffee, you want that session to close itself so you don't accidentally leave the keys to the kingdom sitting right there on your desk. And only after all of that is done do you save the configuration. I really want to highlight this professional best practice because it's a mistake that can truly haunt you. Listen, if you get a little too eager and save your configuration by typing copy run start before you've actually set up those passwords, you're saving in unsecured configurations straight to the device's permanent memory. That means it's going to persist across reboots, leaving your network wide open if the device restarts. Just don't do it. Also, as part of that day 1 hardening, you've got to configure your banners, specifically the message of the day, or MOTD. It's kind of wild to think about, but without explicitly putting formal warning language in your banner that says authorized access only, taking legal action against actual intruders could be seriously compromised. You are essentially hammering the definitive no trespassing sign right onto the front door of your network. All right, let's jump into Section 4, Configuring and Saving. It's time to move some traffic. Let's say you're bringing up a new WAN interface, like Gigabit Ethernet 00. The flow here is super structured. First, navigate into the interface config mode. Then, add a description. And please, always document your links. Your future self will undoubtedly thank you for it. Next, assign the IP address provided by your ISP. And finally, you issue the no shutdown command. Because remember, Cisco interfaces are administratively down by default for safety. So issuing no shutdown is literally the essential final step to bring that link to life. Once your link is up and testing well, you have to commit those changes. And the pro way to do this is a 3-step process. First, show running config to verify your changes look correct in RAM. Second, copy running config startup config to permanently save it to NBRAM. And third, show startup config to validate the save actually worked. Because if you skip that second step and the router loses power, your unsaved configs are permanently wiped out. Poof, gone. Finally, we have Section 5, the golden sequence and troubleshooting. Let's explore what happens when things break. Because navigating iOS isn't just about building stuff, it's about rapidly figuring out what went wrong. When connectivity fails, you can't just guess. You must systematically isolate the fault domain. It's a layered approach. You start by pinging your local gateway to confirm your local segment is healthy. Then you test end-to-end connectivity. If that fails, you trace the hop-by-hop path using traceroute. This pinpoints the exact router where the packets are dropping or massive latency spikes are hitting, letting you narrow the fault down to one very specific link. Yeah, if you only remember a handful of commands from this entire explainer, make it these 3. Show IP interface brief, instantly tells you what's physically up or down. Show IP route tells you exactly how the router is forwarding traffic. And show running config shows you the exact current setup. Seriously, these 3 alone will answer like 80% of network questions on the fly. But there is an even more powerful toolkit. When a major outage happens and you log into a completely unfamiliar device, what do you type first? Well, there's a sequence consisting of exactly 5 steps, known to senior engineers as the golden sequence. You should be running these 5 specific commands in this exact order every single time you log into an unknown device. Number 1. Check the overall health with show version, which tells you the model, uptime, and crucially, why it last reloaded. Follow that immediately with number 2, show IP interface brief to scan the physical connections. Next, look at the logical side with number 3, show IP route, and number 4, show running config. And finally, number 5 is your history, show log. This surfaces all the recent syslog messages, errors, or security events. Running these 5 commands instantly maps out the full story of literally any router. So now that you've mastered navigating the hierarchy, the command syntax, the hardening steps, and the troubleshooting frameworks of Cisco iOS, that blinking cursor isn't quite so intimidating anymore, is it? You now have the map, and you have the keys to the kingdom. So if you were to log into your course switch right now, are you absolutely certain you know what secrets show log is going to reveal to you?